Good morning, students. So it is a second year economics. So second year economics, agriculture is one of the important chapter. So present we are discussing about agriculture sector. Agriculture is one of the most important sector in India. So it is the backbone to Indian economy. So even though today onwards, after the completion of nearly 60 to 70 years industrialization, majority people depending upon agricultural sector for livelihood. So agriculture is one of the most important sector. Majority people get employment opportunities from agricultural sector. So it provides food grains for human beings. At the same time, agriculture supporting industrial sector. So number of industries depends upon agricultural sector for raw material. For example, when we observe sugar industry, I think cloth industries. So when we have a number of industries depending upon agricultural sector for raw material. At the same time, agricultural sector creating demand for industrial sector products. For example, number of industrial sector products purchased by agricultural sector. So because of all these things, agricultural sector is one of the most important sector in Indian economy. So agriculture, it is not a culture. So agriculture is our culture. It is our custom. It is our passion. So agriculture. So present not only developing countries, once upon a time developed countries, either Sweden, Australia, America. So these countries also at initial stage concentrate on agricultural sector. So any country development is purely developed depends upon the development of agriculture. So agriculture is one of the most important sector. So generally when we observe in India, so in India agricultural sector stands first place in the production of pulses, jute and milk and highest production in our country. So India stood first place in the production of rice, in the production of pulses or in the production of jute or in the production of milk. At the same time India stood second place in the production of rice, wheat, sugarcane, fruits, vegetables. So India in different crops. So India get first place or second place. So that is the importance of agriculture. Okay. So present futures of Indian agriculture. So how Indian agriculture futures? So generally when we observe, already we know it is one of the important sector, but present we are observing futures of Indian agriculture. So first one is uncertainty in crop out. So generally agriculture sector depends upon climatical conditions and monsoon. So there is no guarantee. Maybe sometimes because of floods, maybe sometimes because of drought affected. So maybe crop can be failed or less productivity or less production. There is uncertainty. So there is no guarantee. For example, when we are in industrial sector and service sector, we guess so our production, we use this type of this quantity of raw material. So automatically we can prepare this quantity of commodities. But in agriculture, no such a calculation. Why? Because it is purely depends upon climate condition and monsoon. So that is, it is a uncertainty in crop out. Maybe sometimes more crop, maybe sometimes less crop, maybe sometimes there is no crop. So that is uncertainty. So generally a proverb, agriculture, monsoon gambling with agriculture. So it is one type of gambling. Why? Because there is no guarantee. Maybe more production or less production. So because in India uncertainty, even though today onwards nearly 50% of the land depends upon monsoon and climate condition or rainfalls for agricultural activity. So because in India uncertainty in crop out, so there is no guarantee, there is no clear quantity. Next, second one, feudal relationship of agriculture. Feudal relationship of agriculture. So generally before independence, British conquered our India, British ruled our India. So these Britishers were introduced Jamindari system, Mahalwari system or different systems. After getting independence, our government abolished all these things, and Jamindari system or Mahalwari system. So government after getting independence introduced Raitwari system. So in Raitwari system there is no person of any middleman. There is a direct relationship between government and farmer. But even though in this Raitwari system, so maybe agriculturalists can cultivate that land or lease to another one. So that means even though present we are observing this type of feudalism. And once upon a time we observed Jamindari system and Mahalwari system. So present same system, but names are different. So that means present even though after getting independence, India even though today onwards following feudal relationship of agriculture. So here also present we are following feudal relationship. So next, third, rural indebtedness. So what is indebtedness first of all? So those who are borrow loans are not in a position to repay is known as indebtedness. And these people borrow loans for different activities, but they are not in a position to repay. So rural indebtedness. So rural indebtedness is villages. And generally rural indebtedness is a common phenomenon. Why? Because these people are illiterate people, these people are poor people, these people borrow loans for different activities. For example, maybe sometimes productive activities, maybe sometimes unproductive activities. For example, when borrow loans for productive activities, automatically he get income. For example, when he borrow loans for the purchase of seeds or fertilizers or agricultural inputs, no problem. Automatically he get some revenue. But majority times agriculture people borrow loans for unproductive activities. So that is marriages, festivals or celebrations or other activities. So these are unproductive activities. So there is no income. For example, when we borrow loans for this type of activities, there is no income for farmer. So that because he is not in a position to repay. So automatically rural indebtedness. So always rural indebtedness. So there is a proverb: rural people borrow in debts, live in debts, die in debts. So it is a continuous process. So their debts will be transferred to next generation. So rural indebtedness is a common phenomenon. Of course, present government providing different type of loan facilities in different banks or other activities, but majority people depends upon money lenders or other people. So rural indebtedness is a common phenomenon. Next one is dualism in labor market. So generally when we observe agricultural laborer, illiterate people, poor people. So when we observe agricultural sector, here labor supply is more than its demand. So because they are not in a position to get huge salaries, huge wages. For example, when we observe service sector or industrial sector, so those who are involved in industrial sector and service sector, they are getting high wages. But here these people, because of illiteracy, because these people are not suitable for industrial and service sector, so these people are getting less salaries. So because dualism in labor market, when we observe in India, industrial sector and service sector people are getting high wages, agricultural sector people are getting low wages, agricultural sector laborers are getting low wages. So that is known as the dualism in labor market. So next another one is diversities in agricultural sector. So India yielding different type of crops, and it depends upon climate conditions, depends upon fertility of soil, depends upon climate conditions. So different areas are yielding different type of crops. There is a differences. So that is known as diversity in agricultural sector. For example, when we observe Andhra Pradesh, it is very famous for paddy. So when we observe Maharashtra, it is very famous for wheat. When we observe Karnataka, it is very famous for coffee estate, tea estate, spices, like. But because of different climate conditions, because of differences in fertility of soil, so different areas are yielding different type of crops. So that is known as the diversity in agricultural sector. So there is no universal crop system in India. So some areas are yielding different type of crops. So that is diversity. So another one is outmoded farming techniques. Outmoded farming techniques. So generally present agricultural sector require different type of missions. So present we are observing tractors, drilling missions, or different activities. But in India, because of poor people, because of illiteracy, even though today onwards agricultural laborers or agricultural farmers are following outmoded and old and outdated techniques. So even though today onwards people are using bullock carts, wooden planks, or sickles. So that means because of no income, because of poor, these people are not in a position to introduce modern machineries or modern techniques. So generally outmoded farming techniques, even though today onwards agriculture people are using old and outdated techniques. So it is one of the reasons for less productivity. For example, when we compare with other countries, our agricultural productivity is very less, either in the case of wheat or in the case of paddy or in the case of sugarcane or in the case of groundnut. When we observe, our agricultural productivity is less when compared with other countries. Why? What is the reason? We are using old and outdated technology. So because we are getting less productivity. So these are the futures of Indian agriculture.